Daniel Cameron, former Kentucky Attorney General and CEO of the 1792 Exchange. Daniel, appreciate you being with us here. First off, a lot of news being made by the governor of Kentucky, who you ran against, for saying something pretty grotesque
Oh boy.
and not backing off of it.
Yeah.
You surprised at all? Well, what should we know about Beshear, who was at one point just a few weeks ago talked about as a VP possibility?
Well, look, it's good to be on with you guys. It's unfortunate that the governor of our state, made some pretty vile and disgusting comments. The fact that the governor, while he's here in Kentucky, preaches Christian values and talks about decency, but goes up to the Democrat National Convention and spews hateful and vile and divisive rhetoric. Candidly, I'm not surprised. I mean, here is a governor who spent all of 2023 trying to tell folks that he was okay with Donald Trump. He was more moderate than he truly is. And now we get to 2024. He's bashing Donald Trump. He's bashing JD Vance. And he is hugging as tightly as he possibly can the far left ideology and Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And so I'm not surprised. It's obviously disappointing and it's disgusting. And he needs to apologize. And the fact that he doubled down, I mean, it's obviously bad that he made the comments and that he wished some physical pain on a child of JD Vance's. But the fact that he doubled down on those comments is completely disgusting. But I also tell you, I'm not surprised on that, because last year when he was running for governor or in his reelect, and I challenged him on, did he have any regrets about closing down our schools and the learning loss that ensued from that? He refused to apologize. And so there's a pattern here with this governor. One, it's that he is truly a far left liberal, and we're seeing that play out in the comments that he's made over the course of these last several weeks. And the fact that he never apologizes when he has done something that is unequivocally wrong. And so, again, it's disappointing. He needs to retract the statement. I doubt he will.
It's interesting what you just said, because I think it's important. And we appreciate you coming on with us, Daniel Cameron. He pretends to be a down-home, middle-of-the-road guy when he's in Kentucky, an aw-shucks guy. Yeah. And then as soon as he gets to Chicago, or as soon as he's doing whatever he can, bending over backwards to try to get Kamala Harris to pick him as the running mate, he completely turns his back on everything that he claimed to care about. And now that he doesn't have an office to run for, his true self is revealing itself, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is what we, tried to warn folks about last year, is that, he is very much a wolf in sheep's clothing. I mean, he pretends to have sort of these middle-of-the-road values, but when the rubber meets the road, I mean, think about the fact that this was a governor that when he was locking down our schools, he was unlocking the jails. Think about a governor that vetoed legislation that would have protected women's sports from biological males. This is a governor that at the first opportunity after his reelect is again getting as close as he possibly can to the National Democrat Party, even though he spent all of 2023 trying to distance. You guys will remember this. I think I talked about this once in the past. This governor ran an ad in 2023 with someone who was a Trump supporter, claiming that basically Andy Beshear was Kentucky's version of Donald Trump. Again, it is an absurd notion. And one of the things that I think we've seen this year is that he's being exposed for who he really is, and that is a dyed-in-the-wool, far-left Democrat that will do anything he possibly can to cozy up to the far-left interest of the Democratic Party.
We're speaking to former Attorney General for Kentucky, Daniel Cameron. He's CEO now of the 1792 Exchange. Daniel, there was a law and order component of some of the DNC proceedings last night that were particularly galling, I think, for a lot of us, as in the suggestion that the rise in crime that occurred very rapidly at the very end of the Trump presidency, the 6 months before the 2020 election, and then continued on well into the Biden presidency, was somehow the result of anything other than Democrat-based voters rioting in the streets and shooting people and getting completely out of control. I mean, what was your experience as AG of Kentucky during that period? And what is it like when you see Democrats pretending to be the law and order party?
Well, look, Democrats will say anything they possibly can during their convention. But the fact of the matter is, whether it's Kamala Harris or the leadership of the Democratic Party, they're not magicians, and they can't make the last 3.5 years disappear. Whether it's on the issue of the economy and inflation, whether it's on the issue of security at the border or security in our cities. We know that a lot of the leadership, in fact, Kamala Harris herself, Vice President Harris, were touting the notion of defund the police. I mean, this is, even what we're supporting BLM and other associated organizations that if the police were locking folks up, they were actually bailing these bad actors out of jail. That's the legacy of the Democratic Party when it comes to crime. And the other irony here, if you look at what happened last night, is you had a party over the course of last night's speakers. And look, if your listeners and viewers didn't watch last night, there's a good reason, because it went past midnight. But they talked about President Trump 147 times. Crime was barely mentioned, and when they mentioned it, they tried to pass the buck to somebody else, even though we understand that their administration is in charge in Washington, D.C. So they don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to crime and law and order. They can't even keep their own convention secure in many ways with some of these pro-Palestinian protests that we're seeing play out there. Look, at the end of the day, everybody knows that the Democratic Party is the party of catch and release, and the Republican Party is the party of law and order.
We're talking to Daniel Cameron, former AG in Kentucky. All right, let me close out with you here, Governor. Tell us what you're doing with I think you're going to be governor one day, so let me say that. I gave you the title
your lips
already.
to God's ears.
Yeah. You tell me what you are working on going forward, and given the fact that our beloved college football is returning with a game over in Ireland this weekend, break down Louisville's team this year, because I know that's something near and dear to your heart.
Well, let me start by saying on the college football side. Look, I'm optimistic for Coach Braum in his second year. Obviously, we got off to a fast start at the beginning of last year. It started tapering off a little bit at the end, but I'm convinced that they're going to have a rock solid team, and looking forward to cheering them on this year. And I know, look, at some point the SEC and the ACC are going to have a drag out fight in a couple of competitions and on the field. And so look, maybe Clay, you and I can get Buck and make it to a football game at some point. But
that'd be fun.
I'm excited about it. Let me talk.
As long as you guys tell me who to root for, I'm good to go.
We'll do a football game and we'll do Keeneland, so we'll figure that out. But look, on the 1792 exchange, what we are focused on is supporting and encouraging businesses to get back to neutral. Let me talk about Crockett Coffee. I mean, you guys understand the blueprint for what it looks like to just make a good product. You're not worried about, far left woke ideology. You're worried about a good product. That's what 1792 Exchange is about. We're about making sure that corporations are returning to common sense and that they're not pushing partisan political agendas. Calvin Coolidge said pretty plainly that the business of the American people is business. Paraphrasing a little bit, but that's essentially what he was talking about. We've got to get back to our corporations being concerned about the bottom line and the return on investment, rather than what we saw with Bud Light and Target, which, because of the decisions that they've made, they've lost jointly $27 billion. I want to applaud. In your backyard, basically, is Tractor Supply. I want to applaud them for the decision that they made to get away from these far left ideologies and return to doing things that were aligned with their customer base. I appreciate what John Deere has done. Just yesterday, we saw Harley Davidson back away from some of this diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. In my judgment, we don't need companies and corporations built on diversity, equity, and inclusion. We need corporations and American businesses built on merit, excellence, and intelligence. Again, that's what 1792 Exchange is about. I encourage your listeners, your viewers, to go to our website and check us out and learn more.
Daniel Cameron, great to have you on, sir, and we'll see you at Keeneland or a game or both soon. Thanks so much.
I love it. All right. Thanks, Buck. Thanks, Clay.
Thank you. You know, MyPillow has their best-selling products on sale right now, including their queen-size MyPillows at incredible prices. The products are manufactured to make your home life that much more comfortable and enjoyable. From mattress toppers to pillows, excellent quality towels and sheets, the most comfortable slippers you can find. Carrie wears her My Slippers all the time. I've actually got her 2 pairs. I wear them. My mom and dad wear them. We love the My Slippers. $25 a pair right now. Giza Dream Sheets, $25 per set. And that queen-size MyPillow continues to be in stock, available less than $20 now, just $19.98. So many incredible deals right now. I don't know if I've ever seen deals this good at MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special square for huge discounts on MyPillow products, including the premium queen-size MyPillow for only $19.98. Remember, enter promo code Clay and Buck at MyPillow.com for these deals and prices.